Guys, so I was inspired by one of my friends who recently came out as transgender. He's been transgender for quite a while, but officially came out on Facebook not even a couple of days ago. So, I'm not transgender. I am gender fluid, however. I don't know if you can even see because there we go, it's better. And for those of you that don't know what gender fluid means, I'll explain it to the best of my ability. So being gender fluid is, it sounds really immature and childish, but gender fluid is feeling like one gender one day and feeling like the other gender maybe, a week, a couple of days, whatever. So it's essentially, and not necessarily one specific gender, like female or male, and then one day you could just feel like neither gender. Anyway, I assume everyone that follows me on Instagram know that, and I'm pretty sure most people on Facebook know that if they actually keep up with my posts. So, I kind of wanted to go over some different things, like, looking back in my life, there's a lot of things that I noticed when I kind of finally realized my gender identity. I'm still, at this very moment, going through some things. I'm still kind of testing the waters and seeing if I feel possibly more comfortable with being a male or staying gender fluid. Hold on a second, my neighbor is just moving. Okay, so I'll go ahead and continue even if they're doing whatever. So some of the first times, looking back now in my life, I kind of see where it was like, my brain was like, well, and this was before I was even old enough to go, well, I'm transgender. Like, I didn't even know about transgender until maybe I was 15. However, some of the things that looking back now on my life, I kind of noticed, like, back when we were in grade school, they used to, tell all the kids in the class, boys line up on one wall, girls line up on the other. And I know this is a very similar, thing, but, like, a lot of people have it, but they don't really realize it till they're older. I guess it was because my parents never put so much stock into, well, you're a girl, like, they never put that much, kind of like force into it. But whenever they would announce girls go to one side, boys to the other, I would always kind of like, I think the first time they ever did that, I kind of, like, looked around to see if maybe anybody knew what I was. I'm not sure, how exactly that happened, but I do also remember growing up, I kind of felt pulled in both directions, and my parents never put that much, oomph behind me to pick a gender, to be female, or not to pick a gender, but to, like, you have to be female, you have to do this, like, girl things, and, it was never like that. It was more, like, my dad did all this stuff, like, carpentry, and he worked on cars, and, like, he would have me come and help him working on cars and things like that, and, so that was things that boys did, and I guess, like, I just assumed for a long time, like, that I was, I guess, a boy. And then my mom kind of burst in my bubble. She's like, no, you're not a boy, like, you're a girl. And so that kind of started my confusion. And then that kind of went away because I never really put much stock in my gender anyway. I wasn't like, oh, well, I'm a girl, I can't be friends with you because you're a boy. Like, I mean, I didn't really care. Like, my friends were friends, boy or girl, I didn't care. And vice versa. I didn't do much girly things until, like, I started into my preteens. And the only reason I started doing girly things then was because, I watched television. I watched, like, Zoe 101, and it was kind of assumed that girls did these things, or people in general, I just assumed it was people in general, did these things when they're preteens, and so I did that, and I didn't really like it that much. And then I want to say, I did go through mild dysphoria, and that's whenever I first figured out that I thought I was bisexual. And, because I thought those were the only two things. I thought you could only be, or not the only two things, I only thought you could be bisexual, lesbian, gay, or straight. And I didn't know any better. But, I was kind of like, why, I mean, I don't really care about, the gender didn't really matter to me. I mean, yeah, I find girls very attractive, but when I'm looking for a lasting relationship, it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, it didn't matter to me. Even then, it was like, I'd rather have a personality than a gender. I mean, I was okay with girls being hot and guys being hot. But the same thing, stays. I was more attracted to personalities in relationship-wise. Or in regards to relationships. And then I do remember going through high school, I got bullied a lot because clothes I wore, I was into the goth punk rock stuff, emo things, and it was really weird because I remember a lot of the pictures I would always look up of emo subculture was always emo boys, and it wasn't necessarily because I was attracted to them, it's because I looked at those pictures, I was like, I want to be that. I want to look like that, I wanted to be slim and, like, have a small, chest and, like, small stomach and be able to wear, like, skinny jeans and stuff and have my hair like that, and I wanted to look like the boys. It wasn't because I thought they were hot, but, I don't know, like, it was a lot of different things just kind of matched up, and even at one point when, whenever I was in high school and I started to date, one of my close friends, we had to kind of keep it a secret from our parents, so we kind of assumed the gender roles, and I was apparently the boy, and, so we kind of lied to our parents about, oh, well, I'm dating, I want to say my friend, I called her Mark, and I said I was dating one of my friends, Mark, that I'd known for a while, and she told her parents that she was dating her friend named Alex. So I just kind of took on Alex for a while. I mean, even as a nickname, but not many people called me that because I was, I felt comfortable in that gender identity, but at the same time it was like, it was very taboo. I didn't, but every now and then I would ask people to call me Alex because I liked it better, or Lex, or, even Xander. Like, I remember I was so infatuated with that name at one point. I even had that down under a name for my child when I figured out I was pregnant, and I thought it was a boy. So, like, Alexander, and, like, the nicknames Xander and Alex and Lex and all that stuff, kind of, I was like, I wanted that. So I guess, that's, I mean, I still feel that way, and me and my boyfriend now, we're very open about it, and he admits that he was at one point, considering becoming a trans woman, and, like, we're both kind of accepting of it, and we're like, well, like, I'd be okay with you dressing up around the house, in feminine clothes, and he's like, well, vice versa, so, we're very open about it. I mean, that's the way to be. That's the way to be with family and parents, and loved ones. You gotta be open about it and honest, and, I mean, lying about it and not being honest with yourself isn't gonna get you anywhere. So, yeah. If you guys have any tips, I'm experiencing a lot of dysphoria right now. because especially with Pride, the Pride parade that I went to a couple of days ago, I'm experiencing a lot of feelings, and I'm still considering going male, but it's kind of open at this point. So for the time being, you can use, it's not going to bug me if you use either pronoun, he or she. It really won't. But if you're unsure and if you're afraid you're going to offend me, just use gender neutral. It's not going to hurt my feelings. As far as the nicknames, you can call me Lex, you can call me Alex, you can call me Xander, you can call me Allie. I don't care. As long as you don't use my born name, which is Allison. I hate that name. I've always hated that name. So that's the only name that I think I'm a little, let's not use that. So everything else if you have a coming out story, post below. It'd be awesome if you guys posted videos and tagged me in them. But I just wanted to mention that my friend David, who recently officially came out, is the reason why I'm even making this video. So I want to say thank you, David. You're freaking awesome, and I love having you as like a brother going through all this. So, who the fuck is messaging me? So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have nothing but positive comments. I really don't feel like dealing with negative ones. So, bye.